everybody, and welcome to iReadit, bringing you your daily dose of the internet for Monday, March 19th, 2018. I am Michael Schwahn.
And I'm Jerry Attrick.
Please remember, everyone, you can support this show by going to patreon.com/dailyinternet. In addition, we do go live Monday through Thursday at 6 p.m. Alaska time on Facebook, and when we will get it back up and running, it'll also be on YouTube. You can find the videos after 6 p.m., normally around after 7 p.m. on YouTube if you are looking for the video versions on there. Otherwise, please submit your stories for us to talk about besides what we find, and that is on our subreddit, which is reddit.com/r/iRedditcast, or via email, which is iReddit@mjolnir.media. And, of course, if you would like to pick up a shirt that has one of our sick logos on it, although that's a different shirt, be sure to check out any of our pages where you can find links to do that. So, Jerry, Mr. Attrick, Jerry Attrick, how are you today, sir?
I'm pretty tired.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Tired of all the bullshit?
What's up with that, you know? But, no, I'm fucking beat. I played too many video games last night.
Did you
I clocked
hiking?
in a solid 12 hours of Monster Hunter this weekend.
Nice work. Did you go hiking at all?
I did, and that killed me.
Because it's getting to the point where allergies exist?
No.
No, just because you had to actually do a level of manual labor?
It was fairly vertical in some spots, and it made my crotch hurt.
Where'd you go?
I forget the name of it, but it overlooks all of Anchorage, which was cool.
Is that flat top? I don't think that's flat top.
No, it wasn't flat top. It was a different spot.
All right. Did you have
I don't
fun,
remember
though?
the name of it.
Did you have fun, at least?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Good. That's what matters, buddy, is that you had fun.
It hurts.
Yeah? Does everything hurt?
No, just like my legs and my crotch.
Yeah?
Yeah. Fucking moving your legs constantly right in the where they connect to your pelvis. Oh my god. Doesn't help that I destroyed them once jumping off of a building onto a trampoline.
Why would you do that?
Because I thought it would be fun.
Because you're young, dumb?
I was going to be fine until the person who was also on the trampoline jumped first right before I landed.
Oh.
So the trampoline shot my legs into my pelvis.
Perfect.
And I was fucking dead.
I believe it. That's the things that we don't die from when we're younger.
It's fucking insane.
It is. It is insane. I remember jumping off of buildings onto just the ground. There was no fucking parachute, trampoline there. Oh, there wasn't a parachute
not
either.
Fun.
And I'm like, it's only a 15-foot drop. I'll be fine.
15 feet's pretty fucking far.
Yeah, it is. My body's like, what the fuck are you doing, you stupid-ass 14-year-old?
But you know what? You didn't take any HP damage.
No, just invisible damage to my knees.
Yeah. Long-term invisible damage.
Of course, they were already messed up at that point, so I put a hole through one, I broke a bird bath with the other one, jumped off of buildings. Stupid.
You should just get rid of them. You should be like Cotton from King of the Hill.
So I also have this hashtag not spawn, this new thing from Monster called Monster Hydro.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of just tastes like sad lemonade, like the really processed lemonade, like the high C type shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not super awesome.
Oh, I mean, not like I'll drink it. I don't drink those anymore.
No, at all?
No, I haven't had an energy drink since the beginning of the year.
So what have you been drinking? Just booze?
Coffee, booze. I've had 12 sodas since the beginning of the year.
So mostly just coffee and booze then?
Coffee and tea and water, yeah.
Good for you, man. Good for you. Don't want that kidney stone to grow?
No, I want to do like a prehistoric diet.
Sure, and also probably want to spend less money on garbage.
More fish and chicken, lean meats.
Nice. That sounds delicious. I'm also really hungry, so shall we get started so that when we can get out of here, I can go eat?
No, we're gonna leave you here perpetually.
Forever.
Until you die.
I mean, people can bring me food. I'll just eat on stream.
No.
I'll just eat on stream.
No.
What's the name of that shit, what's his name? He was a popular Diablo streamer, turned into a popular Hearthstone streamer.
Crip.
Yep, Crip. I'll just pull a Crip.
Nope.
And just eat all the time on stream, because he does. He eats all the fucking time.
Yeah, he does.
All right, anyway, let's get started.
5.
Alabama sheriff buys beach house with $750,000 meant to feed inmates. 3 days after the story breaks, which we already talked about it, sheriff imprisons the journalist's key source in retaliation.
This was submitted by Cocktails Perfected to Our Late Stage Capitalism.
So we're going to talk about this one more time, just in case anybody missed it, as a follow-up to it. Alabama has a law from before World War II, back when a lot of the prisons were more mom-and-pop things, and a lot of the prison food was made by the sheriff's wife, where the money that was not rationed, the money that was not earmarked, set aside, but there's a word that I'm looking for that means what I'm looking for. Shit.
Budgeted?
Yeah, I mean, all of these words are correct. They're just not the word that I want. Fuck, I'll look it up later. Anyway, they set aside money purely for the purpose of feeding people that are in prison. But Alabama law says that if all of that money is not used, anything that is left over goes straight into the sheriff's pocket.
Okay, is this a prison where they're currently trading packets of ramen for as much as cigarettes?
I don't know. I have no idea.
It sounds like it.
Designated, maybe. I don't think that's quite the word I'm looking for either. I'll find it. I know where I know where I can get the language. I'll just give me a moment. I'm gonna keep talking while I'm searching for this. Anyway, so with that said, prisons get a lot more money for food now, and so this particular sheriff was pocketing over $250,000 a year purely by trying to cut costs and minimize the expenses of feeding inmates. Well, turns out that, he'd reported that he'd received that money, and then some people found out about it, and, that looks pretty bad, especially when we hear nothing positive about the prison system in any fashion. And so then, brought a lot of criticism on him, especially because this guy himself had even advocated for the removal of that law. Because when he first became sheriff, all the money that was left in the food account, essentially, had been given to the sheriff that had retired. So there wasn't any food money to feed the inmates. So when there isn't enough money, it comes out of the sheriff's pocket. So he had to get a loan for $115,000. He's like, this fucking law is bullshit. Well, now that he's pocketing, over $250,000, he doesn't feel that same way.
I mean, he gets to pocket more money now. Of course, he doesn't feel that same way.
I can't imagine why he likes it more now. I just can't. I can't imagine it.
You can't put your finger on it.
No, I just don't really quite know why he'd be okay with it now.
I mean, why now? Of all things, is it because he feels that it is adequate money to feed the inmates?
Well, that hasn't actually been brought much into question in this case, but it was just, this story was unfolded. I got the word, by the way. It's appropriated. That's the word that I'm looking for.
Congratulations.
Funds that have been specifically appropriated. Anyway, thank you, Andrew, in the chat room for allocated. That's also a very good term. The word that my brain wanted was appropriated. Anyway, where was I? But the main source of this came from one of the landscapers for the area, because the landscaper was being paid by the sheriffs directly out of the food account. And that's how he realized what was going on and brought it up to somebody in the media, and they broke the story and, did all that stuff. Well, 3 days later, literally the dude's been working for the guy for 3 years, And no, it's longer than that. Anyway, regardless, been working for him for several years. 3 days after the story breaks, they find out where the source came from. 3 days later, that man is then apprehended for drug trafficking, for trafficking marijuana, because he had some marijuana at his house.
That is the stupidest thing.
Yep. And in Alabama, he could go to prison for life for that.
For marijuana?
Yep.
That is the stupidest. Alabama, you backwards hick piece of shit fucking state. Fix your fucking laws.
They don't want to. Dude, Alabama, there's parts of Alabama that the World Health Organization investigated that have lower quality of life standards than third world countries.
Yo, Alabama needs to step it fucking up. Because it looks like you're probably the worst state in this country.
Is it Mississippi? I think it's Is it Alabama that has the phrase that "Thank God for Mississippi," or is it the other way around?
I don't know.
Okay, I think it. Yeah, thank God for Mississippi, because Alabama is the 49th in all of the rankings, so for everything. But they always say thank God for Mississippi, because Mississippi is always 50th in all the rankings.
That doesn't stop you from being garbage.
No, that doesn't make you better. You're still terrible.
If you're not first, you're last. What is first?
I don't know.
What state is the best?
I have no idea, Nathan. It's not us.
No, obviously. We would be if it weren't for a couple key things.
You know, it's probably something fucking random as hell, like Montana or Indiana or some shit.
Sure.
Like,
Delaware?
Yeah, right? Vermont. Like, it wouldn't be any of the states that, like, the major states, you know, because they have too much controversy over having a bunch of people and money.
What's your main state? Hey.
That's real bad. You should be ashamed.
I am a little bit.
Putin secures fourth term as Russian leader with at least 73.9% of the vote, exit polls say. A bigger win than in 2012.
This was submitted by Johnny W94 to Our World News.
So, are you ready for 6 more years of the Putin?
Sure.
Because they're Putin him back in the office.
Yeah, okay.
That said, there's been lots of questions surrounding the Russian election that nobody can really state publicly because Russia will make you disappear. The Russian presidential vote has already been tainted by reports of ballot-box stuffing.
Yeah.
This was submitted by Inoculate to Our World News.
Oh, I didn't see that.
How dare you?
I thought that was number 3.
No, that's okay. So, yeah. In the biggest win ever.
There's a lot of gifs of like there's like this really popular one of this guy fucking throwing like 4 or 5 fucking
balloons.
4 or 5 ballots in a ballot box. There's one of the balloons, the lady putting the balloons in the way of the
camera when they're about to count the ballots. There was also several people that reported being one of the first people to vote, and they could see that there were already several ballots in a lot of the ballot boxes when they were like the first ones.
So,
yeah, Andrew says it's North Dakota that's ranked first in quality of life. See, again, like just random, like this one because no one pays attention to them and they actually got some things like figured out. There are some places that observers were barred from entering polling stations. There's one polling station in particular that one of the people operating the polling station was barred from approaching the ballot boxes by a bunch of huge dudes, and they couldn't tell what they were doing on the other side of those dudes until they left.
Oh.
So it's like, we're stuffing this box. You stay there. You're doing what? Stay there. Okay.
Don't hurt me.
But the other part of it, of course, is that Vladimir Putin's primary opposition, Alexei Navalny, he wasn't allowed to run. He has a lot of support all across Russia by basically, you know, the
Well, he's a felon, so it doesn't matter.
It's not that he's a felon. It's that he had an arrest for political unrest.
And you can't be running if you've been arrested for that shit.
Yep. But he was expected to be able to pull a large number of Vladimir's votes. But if the government arrests him for political unrest, you know, because they don't like you, and then with that say that you can't run, you can't steal any votes.
So yeah, 73% of the votes, pretty good.
Like, damn, Russia! Like, why are you even acting like you not fucked up anymore? Like, why are you even trying to play like you ain't corrupt as hell? Like,
because they have to have some form of facade.
It's not working.
It doesn't have to work.
they just have to try, like, show the smallest level of, well, we didn't do it. And it's like, yeah, you did. It's the climate. That's why he died.
Plausible deniability.
Sure. It was the weather that caused that fucking nerve agent to go into your spy that betrayed you.
Yeah, maybe you shouldn't be hanging around
England.
UK or anything.
Yeah, right?
Especially if you're a traitor.
If you're not a traitor to Russia, it's fine. Jesus.
Yeah.
So 6 more years of Putin. Somebody did ask him if he intended to stay in the White House, the White House, in the presidential office, in whatever their fucking special building is called. They have a name for it.
The Kremlin.
Yeah, sure. If he intended to stay in the Kremlin, what was their exact question? I can't remember what their exact question was, but their exact question is so you're going to stay in the White House until you're 100 years old? And he laughed at them and said that, oh no, they asked if he would think of running again in another 6 years. And he said, what you're saying is a bit funny. Do you think I will stay here until I'm 100 years old? No. I mean, because eventually he's got to, pass the whip off to somebody else and just enjoy being an old guy with tons of money and power.
Yeah. Man, I can't wait to be an old guy. Then I can walk around in my underpants and not care.
You could technically do that now, Nathan. You live with a bunch of dudes.
Yeah, no. But, I mean, like, in public.
Oh, sure. Got it. I mean, you could technically do that now.
Yeah, but I would care, and that's the difference.
Oh, well, I'm sorry.
3.
Male contraceptive pill is safe to use and does not harm sex drive. First clinical trial finds.
This is submitted by Schwahn to our news.
So, Nathan. Birth control for dudes.
Okay.
For the last, 140 years, the only birth control for dudes has been a condom.
Right.
They have tried to work on several things, like injection into the tube that goes from your nuts to the tube that goes out your penis, the urethra.
Yeah, I was going to say it's the urethra or the ureters, depending.
They've tried gels. They've tried things that just kill the sperm for a while. And one of the things that there's
an electromagnetic one that magnetizes the sperm and rips them apart.
Then there's another one that it's a little itty bitty piece of plastic that goes in there, and they put it around the fucking tube that your fucking sperm goes through, and you literally just flip a switch and it pinches it so the sperm can't flow through it.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, but most of those have not gotten very far. The injection one has gotten a little bit, but of course, one of the easiest things to do would be something that is less invasive and is something that is easier to get to people, which, I mean, of course, would be like a contraceptive pill. Well, they've tried to make contraceptive pills in the past, but the problem is that male bodies are different than women's, and the way that our metabolisms work, it significantly... It metabolizes the hormones and agents for the contraceptive significantly faster than a woman's body does. So, for the longest time, any type of developed male contraceptive pill does not work. They did make one that kind of worked, but it didn't have a very high assurance rate. And then, with the standard birth control shit, it made a whole bunch of dudes have mood swings, and they didn't like that. This one apparently doesn't seem to have that problem. It seems to work quite well, although they have only tested it on 100 people, which I don't feel like is a very effective test. But, I mean, it's the first clinical trial, so, they got a ways to go. But it doesn't seem to harm sex drive, is safe, and that's all they've really said about it.
So we'll probably see it in the next 20 years, just in case.
Maybe.
Because they have to make sure that it doesn't rot your dick off in a year and a half.
Yeah. Because it's obviously males that are working on it, and males are like, oh, no, I don't want to deal with any of the shit that women deal with, so.
Yeah. Really unfortunate, honestly, but.
So, question for you, Nathan.
Yeah.
If this was available, would you get it?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
I would be down for it. Obviously, I feel the same way about women's birth control. I would want my health care to pay for it.
At the same time, I would still wear condoms because this is just birth control and not STD control.
Yeah. That, it doesn't save you against that, Nathan.
Yep.
Get checked, people. Be safe. Be clean. That said, we have no idea when this is coming out. Jennifer says, side effects for men, and then it is thrown out, points at all the side effects that women deal with. Yeah. This one doesn't say anything about side effects. It probably has them, which, I mean, dudes can get the fuck over it and deal with it. My main thing is that it's effective and that healthcare pays for it. And healthcare should pay for women's everything as well. So, we'll see what happens, though. It's still a long way out.
Yeah.
So, either way, look for it, dudes, because you don't want surprise babies.
I agree with Bobby.
Nutter
switch all the way.
Yep, gotta have that switch there.
The only thing that would scare me is, like, if you're having sex and they push down on the switch on accident.
Click.
And it like, it turns it on.
Turns what on, Nathan?
Well, okay, so I guess it would open up the valve, really. It'd turn me on.
2. 9/11 hero who saved hundreds dies of cancer at 45.
This is submitted by Cyanoco Balaman to our news.
So we'd like to take just a moment. The internet thought it was very important to bring attention to this man, and I agree with them. And his name is Thomas Phelan. He died at the age of 45. He is one of the very many firefighters and other first responders that responded to the attack on the Twin Towers on September 11th, 2001. He did die of cancer, which has actually been a extremely common cause of death for anyone who responded or was even near the site at 9/11.
Well, I mean, a lot of chemicals and shit flew up into the air in the building.
Yep.
Like, probably assloads of asbestos, too.
Yeah, well, a lot of the diagnoses have been believed to have been resulted from exposure to known and suspected carcinogens and pollutants that were in the air after the attacks.
Yeah.
So, but as unfortunate as it is, the people that are getting hit the hardest by it are all the people that came to help. The first responders, emergency responders, recovery and cleanup workers, and volunteers who helped.
Man, isn't that the fucking pits?
Thanks for saving all these people. In return, you get cancer.
Sorry.
My bad.
But I'm a Sagittarius.
Wow, Nathan. That was so bad.
It was.
Like, that was... Wow. That was bad. Get out.
Okay, I'll see you guys later.
Bye.
1.
Edward Snowden. Facebook is a surveillance company rebranded as social media.
This is submitted by AppsTools232323 to Our World News.
So, shall we talk about Facebook for a bit?
Yo, sure. First of all, we're not going to see Snowden much longer.
No, you don't think so? You think Russia's going to off him?
Yeah, he was like, yo, Russia's electoral system is, like, rigged and shit. And you can't say that in Russia when you're hiding in Russia. He's going to be either killed or extradited.
Well, I guess we'll find out. Either way, former National Security Agency contractor Edward Snowden, otherwise known as the whistleblower of what fucking year was that? Like 2013?
2012 or something.
It was a while back at this point. Who basically said, "By the way, everything's spying on you. Goodbye." Anyway, this is in response to the information that Cambridge, I keep on wondering.
Cambridge
Analytica, that's what it's called. Which is a data analytics firm that apparently worked for President Trump's campaign. But also, the thing that's been being brought against them is that around 50 million Facebook users had a significant amount of data that it wasn't a data breach. It was more that Cambridge Analytica didn't handle it correctly and kind of just gave it to the wrong people. Because what it is, it wasn't a breach of Facebook security. Instead, for instance, just as a quick note, by the way, to everybody who doesn't realize this, when you're like scrolling through Facebook and it's like, oh man, what kind of potato am I? And you click on that quiz and you answer all the questions, or it wants to analyze your profile, and you're like, yeah, you can look at my Facebook. They harvest all of your information that is possible for them to get. When you say, yeah, you can access my profile, they will take everything they possibly can and stick it in a data file. Because one important thing to note is that Facebook is not a service. Facebook is a collection of information. Like, it's great that you can talk to your, like, the amount of connectivity Facebook offers us is awesome, and I love sharing memes on it. But understand that Facebook profits from you. Not just...
Oh, no, I'm restarting.
You're restarting your computer? I'm going to take that as yes, his computer, since he just froze. Well, anyway, I'm going to keep talking while he tries to get everything back together. Anyway, so Facebook, yes, profits pretty substantially from ad revenue, but the other thing they profit from is selling your information of this person likes this, knows about this and that and this. They go there, they shop for these things. Facebook knows all of this about you. And so that's what they offer to a large number of people and how they make so fucking much money, because they have more information on you than you realize they know, and they know more about your habits than you realize they know. And so they take all that and sell it to other people to use that however they please. A lot of the time it ends up being for advertising, to get targeted ads on you in the hope that you will buy more stuff. But that's how Facebook works. Now, they apparently, Cambridge Analytica, based on the agreement that they had with Facebook, didn't properly... Katie in the chat room says Nathan was disconnected because we're talking about Facebook and we go live on Facebook, so I approve. They broke an agreement with Facebook, allegedly, and that made Facebook get very upset, and they denied Cambridge its access because 50 million people's worth of information was apparently used improperly, according to Facebook. But Facebook's under a lot of fire because they've also completely shut down the account for the whistleblower that informed everybody that Cambridge University was harvesting this Analytica was harvesting this information. And in the middle of all this, Edward Snowden came out and was like, businesses that make money by collecting and selling detailed records of private lives were once plainly described as surveillance companies. Their rebranding as social media is the most successful deception since the Department of War became the Department of Defense. Which is true. It's very true. It used to be the Department of War. It's the Department of Defense because we got to protect ourselves while we go kill people over their resources. So Nathan will be back as soon as he can. He just sent me a message that said my computer forced itself to restart. So Facebook attacked his computer in such a way that he'd be kicked off. But fuck you, Facebook. So that's where we're at right now in terms of Facebook and the Cambridge Analytica situation. I don't know how to tell you if your information was gotten or not, but I mean, it was only 50 million when Facebook has 1 billion users. So I mean, I guess it was only, what is that? 5%? Right? Yeah, 5%. That's not too bad. I mean, it's better than Equifax, right? Which was a third of Americans. So, yeah. Good luck with that. In any case, yeah, just be aware, everybody, that Facebook is basically watching you and everything you do and every last piece of information that you provide them all the time. Like, so is Twitter, so is Instagram, so is anything that possibly can. That's what they do day in and day out. I'm going to do my thing first while Nathan tries to get back in here, because he has his own thing, but I'll do mine to buy him time. And that is John Musker, the co-director of The Little Mermaid, Aladdin, and Moana, retires from Disney after 40 years of work. The person who helped create so many childhoods, John Musker, is retiring from Disney. And unlike, that poor sod that sold you a $12 butterbeer at Harry Potter World, which is not Disney, whatever, you got the point, who Disney cares nothing about, this person earned them so much money, so of course they care about him a lot. He did more than just those. He also did The Great Mouse Detective, The Little Mermaid, Aladdin, Hercules, Treasure Planet, The Princess and the Frog, and Moana. He helped bring all of those things to your eyeballs for your entertainment and enjoyment. And they had a massive retirement party for him. And he's just gonna go enjoy life now. He's gonna not work for the devil mouse anymore. Is like, seriously, Disney's just working like there are like 5 companies that are just gonna take over the world. Like Disney is one. Like Disney's going to be all of your entertainment. Period. Like, you want to watch TV? Cool. Disney. Like, I'm just waiting for Disney to buy Netflix and then just be like, all right, well, we own Disney, Fox, and Netflix. Is there anyone else that truly matters? No. Okay. We own everything that you can. Oh, we'll buy Universal Studios real quick. Thanks. Now we have access to things like Jurassic Park. Yay. So all of your entertainment is going to be owned by Disney. All of your shopping is going to be owned by Amazon. All of your access to the I don't know what to call Google, because Google's going to own part of it. Like, there's going to be a strange merger between, like, Apple and Microsoft, and they're going to take over all of the tech industry. Google's going to take over all of your, like, provided services, so, like, internet. And then SpaceX is going to take over all of your travel. And that'll just be it. That'll be the 5 companies that own the world. Google, SpaceX, I'm including just Elon Musk, because I'm going to include Tesla with SpaceX. Because they're basically the same, right? I mean, Elon Musk owns them both. So yeah, Google, SpaceX / Tesla, Apple / Microsoft, Amazon, Disney. There you go. Those are your 5 overlords in the next 100 years. I'm sure there's somebody else that'll actually fill in there, so you'll get an even 10. But those are the 5 that I can think about right now. Nathan has not made it back. Says he's yellow. I'm going to try and call him and see if it works. It's ringing. I'm going to get the horrible Skype. We're sorry. The person you're trying to reach is not available at the moment. Please leave it. Yeah, Skype has a voicemail feature. It's fucking weird. Doesn't seem like he's back. Damn. Of course, depending, if his computer forced itself to restart, his computer might be sitting on, like, an update right now. And, yeah, you know, his computer hates him a lot. Oh, he's calling. He's calling right now. Does he live? Is he alive? Maybe. He's alive.
My computer restarted.
Your computer hates you.
Mm-hmm.
In any case, hey, Nathan.
Mm.
Oh, damn it.
Look at me!
What did you care about in the last 72 hours? Would you like me to read it since you're not here yet?
Yeah, go ahead.
Trump's election consultants filmed saying they use bribes and sex workers to entrap politicians.
That was the, what is it called? Cambridge Analytica place. There was a thing that what was it? A news company did, and they recorded the higher-ups talking about sending Ukrainian women and whatnot to politicians' houses as sex workers and everything so that they can bribe them, and that they've done it before. Facebook worked with Cambridge Analytica, and now Facebook has banned the whistleblower on the Cambridge Analytica scenario on all of their platforms.
Yep.
In addition, Steve Bannon had been in control of Cambridge Analytica at one point.
Interesting.
Which was, yeah, also interesting. So that whole thing tried and succeeded to sway politicians and politics on a federal government scale.
Fun.
And that's pretty scary.
Yeah, I believe it.
Because, like, that shouldn't happen. Like, that shouldn't be allowed. And here it is, you know, thriving, essentially.
So, Nathan, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Because one of the things that I was talking about earlier, while I was filling time for you to get back in here, and I realized that Facebook should probably be included in this, I was discussing the companies that are going to run the world in the next, 100 years. Like
Disney.
Like, Disney is going to own all entertainment.
It's going to be like Disney, Google, and Facebook.
Like, Disney's going to own all entertainment.
Though, Facebook's stocks are dropping.
Amazon is going to own all of your shopping. Just anything you want to buy, you're going to buy through Amazon. I said that, SpaceX / Tesla, so Elon Musk is going to own all forms of, transportation. If you need to get anywhere at all, it's going to be through Elon Musk.
It's going to be Musk.
So,
if you need to order anything online, it's going to be through Bezos's Amazon.
Yeah, that's what I said. Amazon, for any form of shopping, any form of ordering. Technology is going to be some form of like Microsoft app and Apple and like maybe one of the Korean companies, and they're just going to own all of technology. They're going to have this massive merger that just anything tech based is going to come out of them. And Google will, like, I don't know, every service possible will just be through Google, and then. Like, I mean, give them time, and maybe they like join forces with Facebook to own social, like all internet data possible.
Yeah, I mean, it's an inevitable thing unless something is done to stop it, but nothing is going to be done to stop it because they've already gotten so big that they can just buy out almost anyone, if not anyone.
Yeah. So, well, we got some form of we have. Disney, Amazon, Google, whatever you want to call SpaceX/Tesla, and then a merger combo of tech industry of some form between like Apple, Samsung, and Microsoft.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, that's that.
And it'll probably end up being an actual combination between Samsung and Microsoft, with like Apple trying to fill in somewhere. Because so much of what Apple does is made through partnerships with Samsung. So, anyway, you ready to get out of here, buddy?
Yeah, I am. I want to go and eat.
I like food. Let's go get food. All right, everybody. We're going to get out of here. If you'd consider supporting the show, go to patreon.com/dailyinternet. Order one of our 6 shirts if you would like to do so. Otherwise, follow and share the show on social media. God, that's a lot of S's. Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, all of which are at iReaditCast. Video versions on Facebook and YouTube. Please remember you can follow me at Schwahn Michael and Nathan at Bimmenstein. And if you got stories you want us to talk about, you can do so at our subreddit, which is reddit.com/r/iReaditCast, or via email, which is iReadit@mjolnir.media. That is it, everybody. That is your 446th dose of the internet. I am Michael Schwahn.
And I'm, what was it? Fuck.
Jerry Attrick.
Jerry Attrick, that's right.
All right. And please remember, everybody.
Well, I didn't vote for you.
I have a good name. I have a good name. Have a good day.
Yep.
Goodbye. Whatever.
Hey.
Bye.